Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Carlson Capital is their company name. They're a company near Rockford, Illinois. This is their LS703LH-yellow-BO black oxide. This is a spring-loaded lift mechanism, and it's a back mount. I haven't made a video on one of these in a while, so it'll be a bit of a trip down memory lane for me. So there are three different versions of the lifting mechanism from Carlson, and they really only differ by where they're mounted. You've got a sidewall mount, you've got a back mount, and then you've got a unit that's mounted on the rear of the lid itself. So the 703 is a back-mounted version, and what that means is you're obviously mounting it to the back of the foot locker, let's call it, your foot locker. I can't think of another word that I'd like to use for that. Some sort of storage that you might have at the foot of a bed. Lifting it up, allowing the storage of things, blankets, maybe children's toys, things of that nature. And the spring-loaded lift mechanism allows you to handle that and do so in such a way that's not only safe, but quite concealed as well. The back-mounted version is super handy when you want to bring that mounting point in closer to the center and not tie it to the outside of the unit that would lift in front of you. The LH is obviously the hand. So when I look at this, when you look at this is going to go towards the center. This is literally, as you open the foot locker in front of you, it will be on your left hand, is how that is planned. If it was a right hand, this would all be flipped over. Now, you can install two left hands on a unit. The mounting point doesn't really matter, but I would think for symmetry, you might want to order one left and one right if you're indeed ordering two. If you're using the sidewall mount, of course, you'll have to order it handed, but the back mount, you can go either way. Now, jumping to the end, the BO is black oxide. That's going to be the finish on the outside of the unit. The SB version would be the statutory bronze, and by far is more common in terms of, I think, what the manufacturer usually ships, but the black oxide is very nice looking as well. If you wanted a antique bronze type, Venetian bronze type color, you'd want the SB. If you're looking for black, well, you found it. Now yellow, that's a relationship to the color on the spring. But beyond the color on the spring is its capacity to handle a given weight of lid above. So we're going to get into tackling that, but let's look at the balance of the extended description information. This is a self-balancing lid closure. The 703, left hand and right hand, are back mounted, keeps heavy lids from slamming shut, holds the lid open in any position, available in either statutory bronze or black oxide finish. Features a solid brass enclosure slide, which is down in here. Cover brackets riveted to the cam. High quality spring, available in different tensions for different lid sizes. Screws are not included. You'll need to come up with screws. This is a left hand. This is a yellow spring. And it's going to be rated for a heavier than average sort of lid. It's rated for 65 to 95 inch-pounds. Torque rating is defined as the lid height in inches by the lid weight in pounds multiplied by 1/2. And we're going to get into that right now. We built a calculator down below that will allow you to tell us the height of the lid, which is really the front of it to the back. How heavy is the lid? And it will calculate that spring color for you. Yellow, green, these other spring color, white, these other spring colors are what's going to be directly related to the size and the weight of the unit. So you can use that calculator. And below that, there are some images of the item as well being used, and then, of course, the manufacturer's video that's there. Now, let's get into the assembly of the 700 series, and we're going to immediately... The top of that is the 702 that you'll see. the calculation of the weight is 702 or 703. Doesn't matter which we're dealing with. Now, if you were to have, looking at that table in the center of the book, the center of that page, if you were to have an 18-inch deep lid, and let's say that it weighed 8 pounds, and then multiply that by 1/2. So 18 times 8 times 0.5 is going to give you 72. 72 is the number. 18 deep, 8 pounds times 0.5, or all that divided by 2, gives us 72. 72 is going to be, obviously, coincidentally, your yellow spring. As that number changes, you're going to go from the low to the high columns of your inch pounds and select the proper color. It's just simply that simple. Again, to find inch pounds, multiply half the distance from the front to the back times the weight of the lid. I think they're forgetting dividing that by 2. So anyway, divide it by 2. Now your 703 series, place the installation, place the bottom bracket so that the top screw hole is 1 1/16 down from the top of the back panel. From the back down to the center line of this screw is 1 1/16. Fasten with a number 6 screw. Secure the second screw as well. Open the lid to approximately 90 degrees. And then at that point, you want to be 3 inches from the bottom of your lid to the bottom of this screw. Confirm that's where you are, and then attach the second screw. You're done. How far over you put it really isn't going to matter very much. Depending on what your use is, what you're going to be putting inside, you might want to kick them out. You might want to bring them in for symmetry, 1/3, 1/3, have it all balanced. It's not going to matter. You might be using just one. Now, on the second page of the document called Assembly of the 700 series, you're going to see lots of dimensions. And I won't beleaguer all those points. There's just no real reason to put a tape measure on all this stuff. All the dimensions are there. Your back wall and your side wall. There's also a link to a document called Mounting Diagrams. And that will show you the third series, the 900 series, that is mounted on the rear of the unit. The 703 and the 702 are incredibly common. For every 100 of those that I sell, I might sell one of the 900 series. Or maybe for every 500 that I sell. So they're not very common, that 900 series. But nonetheless, you might want it on the rear of your unit, and that would be all there is to it. You might have an application where that makes sense to move the apparatus outside of the unit. You might be installing something that will not tolerate any hardware on the inside, etc. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can review not only all of the Carlson products that we sell, but a link to a couple-page PDF that shows a summary of the lifting mechanisms that they sell. And then finally, there's a link to the manufacturer's website. Any questions on the Carlson? This is their part number LS703LH-yellow-BO for black oxide lifting mechanism, or any other Carlson product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.